There's a problem in the sub panel, something I didn't do correctly that needs to be fixed. The question is, how do I fix it?
Welcome to 3D Accuracy, where I'll talk about 3D printing, 3D product design, and 3D injection and die-cast mold design.
Here's the problem. Inside the sub panel, I'm using some of these little tandem breakers. They're small ones. And it gives you two circuits side by side in the space of one standard breaker. Now, the problem is what I'm trying to do with that. And that involves the outlets around the shop. Now, this is the closest one I have to show you. Okay, what I'm attempting to do is I have 3-wire, 10-gauge wire with 2 hot leads, a red and a black, a neutral white wire, and a green wire for the ground. And what I'm wanting to do is have one circuit on one side and another circuit on the other side. The reason I want to do that is twofold. One, I'd like to be able to have the ability to change these outlets at a future date should I need to put a 240 volt line in here for another 3D printer or some other type of machine. And so what I've done is wired it that way because it's already set up to switch to 240 easily. Now, it also, like this printer, is the same kind of outlet as this one, and I've done the same thing with it. It's split, so I have one circuit on one side, one circuit on the other side, and different circuit breakers. That way, I can have the printer running, and I can plug other things into that outlet, and it doesn't interfere with the printer. It's on a dedicated line. Okay, now, here's the issue. Let me explain what the problem is. These breakers, these tandem breakers, somebody left a comment in my previous video that you cannot use these for that purpose. And I was told by a couple different people that yes, you can. But I dug into it, did a little research online, and the fellow with the comment online in my YouTube video, he was correct. You cannot use them this way because you see the metal connections in the back. The metal connections are staggered so that this connection is on this bus bar. This connection here is on the bus bar that's on the right behind the circuit breakers. So what happens is when you plug one of these little tandem ones in, it only attaches to one side. And so you have two circuits pulling electricity on the same phase. It's alternating current, so the phase changes 180 degrees. Now, the problem is when you're doing that and you start using things, you're running tools on two separate circuits side by side, you're pulling more amps than the breaker can handle, potentially. Not always, but I think potentially you have the ability to pull more amps and you're going to blow the circuit breaker. Okay, now the other thing is these circuit breakers get hotter than normal circuit breakers because they're more compact, there's more going on in a smaller area of space. So, my solution, I thought, well, I can pull these breakers out, I can put standard breakers in. I can rewire the boxes so that it's only on one circuit. That's another option. I can just disconnect one wire, say the red wire, and then jump the black over to both outlets so that I have one circuit in there, not two. Now, that would still give me the ability, because I have the wire already in there, to switch to 240 volts if I need to. And then I would just remove the red wire and have it hanging in the box and seal it off, put a wire nut on there and some sort of a notation so that I remember what it is. Then I got looking at this and I thought, I think the solution is right in front of me, and all I need to do is this breaker is connected to the bus bar on the left. The one underneath it is connected to the bus bar on the right. Okay, you can see the connection there. So what if I took, and here I have a black wire coming in from my 3 wires, and I have a red wire connected to this one, both on the same phase. Here I have a black wire and a red wire connected in a different box, okay, not in the same outlet, in a different outlet, but it's coming from the bus bar on the left, so it's on a different phase. What if I just took the 2 red wires off and switched them? I move this one up here and this one down here. Now it's pulling 2 different phases in the same outlet, so that one side is pulling electricity from the bus bar on the left, the other from the bus bar on the right, using the same common neutral, white neutral line, because all the neutral wires in the whole shop connect to the same bus bar in the sub panel. So I don't see a problem with doing this, and what I've done is I've kind of cheated the system a little bit. And now I have, in this breaker, I have one side coming from one bus bar, the other one coming from the other bus bar, and so it has the 2 phases instead of one common phase coming in through that circuit breaker. So my question is, does anybody know if that's safe to do, if it'll work? I'm not an electrician. I've never done this sort of thing before, and so I have a lot of questions. If anybody can tell me, leave a comment. Is this the right way to do it? Will it work without a problem? I think it will, because now I'm supplying 2 different phases to the same circuit breaker, and I think that gets around the problem, but I don't know for sure. So comments. I want lots of comments. Is this going to work? Because this would be the easiest thing to do to change it, is to just take the panel off the front, shut the box down, of course, outside, so there's no electricity running, and then just reverse the red wire, switch them so that it's coming from the other phase. That was the shortfall. That was the shortfall of using the tandem, is that you couldn't get both phases of the electric the way they are. But if you have 2 side by side and then you swap the wires, I think you've cured the problem. What do you think?
I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you're ever in need of 3D product design, 3D injection mold design, 3D die-cast mold design, or 3D printed prototypes or production parts, please feel free to contact me. You can find contact information in the video description. I look forward to hearing from you and to being of service to you. Thank you for watching. As always, I appreciate it. See you on 3D Accuracy's next video.